Honda Civic Type R. The all-new Honda Civic Type R has been engineered from the ground up to deliver the most rewarding driving experience in the hot hatch segment, both on road and on the racetrack. Newly engineered from the ground up, the Type R was developed in parallel with the new standard Civic hatchback, with the mutual benefits to the dynamics and refinement of both variants. It retains the heritage of Honda's high-performance hatchback bloodline, combining the purity of front-wheel drive chassis dynamics with aggressive design and finely honed aerodynamics. A new single-mass flywheel coupled with the slick 6-speed manual gearbox reduces clutch inertia weight by 25%, and combines with a 7% lower final gear ratio to enhance response under acceleration. The gearbox's rev-matching function smooths shifts, eliminating undesirable transmission shock associated with excessive or insufficient revving. The rev-matching function further enhances the joy of driving a manual transmission sports car. A lightweight, highly rigid body shell, the product of innovative new engineering and construction techniques, complements the lower center of gravity and the sophisticated new suspension system, contributing directly to the car's rewarding dynamics. An advanced dual-axis strut front suspension system reduces torque steer and enhances on-the-limit cornering and steering feel. At the rear, Type R's new multi-link suspension enhances ride comfort as well as high-speed stability. Dual-pinion variable ratio electric power steering is new to the Type R, using a similar system as featured on the standard Civic, but optimizing the variable ratio to deliver a more direct and secure feel at high speed. Peak power output from the optimized and refined 2.0-liter Tech turbo engine is 320 PS at 6,500 revolutions per minute, and peak torque is 400 Nm from 2,500 revolutions per minute to 4,500 revolutions per minute. It covers the 0 to 100 km per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour, sprint in just 5.7 seconds and will go on to a top speed of 272 km per hour. 169 miles per hour, meaning it is both the fastest accelerating and quickest car in its class. It is also the fastest Type R ever around the Nürburgring Nordschleife with a lap time of 7 minutes 43.8 seconds. The Honda Civic Type R has a new selection of driving modes, adding a comfort setting to the default Sport and Track Focused Plus R modes, all of which tailor the suspension compliance, steering geometry and throttle response of the car on demand. Compared to the previous Type R, the more significant difference between the damping forces of each driving mode gives the new car greater usability across a wider range of road surfaces. Notably, Comfort mode affords a high degree of compliance, coupled with a less urgent level of steering response. The aggressive silhouette makes a confident statement about the Civic Type R's dynamic character. Wider, longer, and lower than any of its predecessors, the all-new Civic has short overhangs and muscular, taut lines. A sharp and aggressive face, pronounced wheel arches and sculpted front and rear intakes project the Civic's sporting brief. A comprehensive aerodynamic includes a smooth underbody, front air curtain, a slim rear wing and vortex generators at the trailing edge of the roofline. These features contribute to a best-in-class balance between lift and drag, delivering superior levels of high-speed stability. The all-new interior has significantly improved levels of quality, comfort and refinement. Front and rear seat occupants benefit from greater visibility and more space than ever before in which to experience the Type R's blistering performance, while the large boot and innovative side-sliding tonneau cover ensure the car retains its position as the most practical and versatile of high-performance hatchbacks. New Honda Civic Type R was engineered within the same development program as the other members of the 10th generation Civic family, the largest global project for a single model in Honda's history. Production of the new Type R is anticipated to start in summer 2017 at Honda of the UK Manufacturing, HUM, in Swindon, the global manufacturing hub for the 10th generation Civic hatchback. The Type R will be exported across Europe and to other markets around the world, including Japan and the US. Its arrival in North America will mark the first time that any Honda-badged Type R has been officially sold there. Bespoke chassis, suspension and steering set up to maximize power transfer and high-speed stability. The advanced platform that underpins the all-new Civic Type R provides the foundation for the most sophisticated chassis dynamic setup in the model's history. All-new suspension, a lower center of gravity and a boost in body rigidity help this latest generation Civic Type R deliver the most rewarding driving experience in the hot hatch segment. As well as more responsive handling, ride comfort is also significantly improved over its predecessor, as a result of exhaustive development and a focus on compliance-enhancing techniques and technologies. Advanced dual-axis and multi-link suspension. At the front, lower arm-type front McPherson strut suspension provides high lateral rigidity for linear handling, and low longitudinal rigidity for optimized ride compliance. Honda Civic Type R makes use of a unique dual-axis setup, with revised geometry that incorporates a reduction in center offset of 19 mm and a reduction of initial camber by 1.0 degree compared to the standard Civic setup. This Type R specific setup minimizes torque steer and maximizes sporty handling. Furthermore, in pursuit of increased rigidity and weight reduction, the strut's lower arms and knuckles are now made out of higher rigidity aluminum. At the rear of the car, an all-new rear multi-link setup and unique suspension arms deliver increased geometrical stability for improved high-speed stability and enhanced ride comfort compared to its predecessor, as well as more linear handling in conjunction with the electric power steering tuning. The multi-link suspension contributes to significantly improved stability under braking, reducing the total roll movement of the car. Combined with a lower center of gravity and wider wheel track, it enables later braking and higher cornering speeds. Upper, lower and trailing arms are all high-rigidity parts unique to the Type R. Relocation of elements, including the fuel tank, throughout the length of the car has also delivered improved weight distribution across the axles. The redistribution achieves a 3% reduction in the proportion of weight over the front axle compared to the previous Type R, which is a further contributing factor to the improved dynamics and stability. Adaptive damper system. The all-new Honda Civic Type R features a revised four-wheel adaptive damper system that delivers superior ride quality and exceptional road-holding performance. The system incorporates upgraded shock absorber units, which are now of a 3-chamber design, giving a much wider range of variability for the damping force. Continuous independent control of the damping force in all 4 dampers is activated by adjusting the current sent to electromagnetic coils inside the dampers, using feedback from a suite of 3 G sensors around the car. These G sensors, one on each side of the car at the base of the A-pillars, and one just forward of the rear axle, and stroke sensors on the suspension of each wheel, monitor the car's status in real time. The current to the electromagnetic coils inside the dampers is adjusted in milliseconds, altering the oil flow channels and thereby controlling the damping force. Existing lateral G, steering angle and brake pressure sensors also form part of the system. The revised 3-chamber dampers enable a significant improvement in the variability of damping force in both the tension and compression strokes of the suspension, which has facilitated the addition of a much softer comfort setting in the Civic Type R selectable driving modes. The logic tuned specifically to the Type R's unique suspension and tires delivers independent control of each wheel, improving contact with the road surface, including on uneven surfaces, maintaining high levels of traction at all speeds. This ensures sharp handling and stability during cornering at higher speeds, limiting body roll. The damping force is increased further in the revised Plus R mode. Dual Pinion Variable Ratio EPS. The Honda Civic Type R's dual pinion variable ratio electric power-assisted rack and pinion steering has a similar setup as the standard Civic, but with an optimized variable ratio to deliver a more direct and secure driving experience. The 2 pinions allow the steering and power assistance functions to be separated, while the variable ratio system adjusts in accordance with the geometry between the rack and pinion, rather than by the speed of the car, which maintains a steady steering feel. Steering feel of the electric power steering, EPS, is calibrated individually to each of the 3 selectable driving modes, Comfort, Sport and Plus R. The latter delivers the most direct feel, a direct and linear balance is present in Sport, and a smooth and natural feel is available in Comfort. Agile Handling Assist. Honda's Agile Handling Assist, AHA, electronic stability system has been specially tuned for the new Civic Type R, including bespoke operating parameters for the car's track-focused Plus R mode. AHA operates through the Vehicle Stability Assist system, applying a light braking force to the inner wheels when the steering wheel is turned. It provides subtle, discreet assistance for increased responsiveness and stability at low and high speeds, and with both gentle and rapid steering inputs. AHA also improves the limited slip differential effect by reducing the inner wheel slip during mid-corner acceleration. High-performance braking system. To help the driver manage the Type R's prodigious power, its front wheels are equipped with a high-performance Brembo brake package, developed specifically for the car. At the front, 4 piston calipers apply braking force to ventilated 350mm discs. The front bumper's intakes house unique cooling ducts that channel air through the body to reduce the heat of the discs and calipers. At the rear, solid 305mm discs are 9mm larger than those found on the previous Type R. Lightweight, high-rigidity body frame. The advanced new unibody platform of the 10th generation Civic hatchback means that the new Type R's body frame is 16 kg lighter than the previous Civic Type R's, with a torsional stiffness improvement of 37% and a static bending rigidity improvement of 45%. This provides significant benefits to steering response and cornering stability, as well as aiding the passive safety and NVH characteristics of the car. Type R also benefits from the Civic hatchback's innovative body assembly process, which involves a high-efficiency joining technique. The entire inner frame is assembled first, followed by the outer frame, and then the joints. This new inside-out process defies the conventional method of body frame assembly, but contributes greatly to the overall stiffness of the body. The Civic Type R's fuel tank has been relocated and the car's floor is lower than that of the outgoing model. Combined with the revisions to the chassis and suspension, the all-new model's center of gravity is 10mm lower. These changes also allow the driving position to be set nearer to the road, with a hip point 25mm lower than its predecessor, giving a more sporty feel. Muscular and performance-focused aerodynamic design. Based on the low and wide proportions of the new Civic hatchback, the Type R is enhanced by muscular styling and aggressive body modifications that deliver superior aerodynamic performance. The new Honda Civic Type R is 165mm longer, 36mm lower and 2mm wider than the previous generation model. The low and wide proportions underpin the distinctive design and classic hot hatch styling cues, while also enabling a more spacious cabin thanks to the larger footprint. The all-new Type R has a more comprehensive aerodynamic package than the previous model, including a smoother underbody, front tire air curtain, a slim rear wing and vortex generators at the trailing edge of the roofline. The muscular, aggressive body has a best-in-class balance between lift and drag, contributing to greater high-speed stability. At the front, the aggressive bumper is extended with a winged carbon fiber effect splitter and sporty red accent line, which runs around the entire car. Additional slatted ducts add width to the bumper, and diamond mesh inserts fill the sculpted air intakes. The sharp and aggressive interpretation of Honda's family face, incorporating signature Honda front headlight clusters, is enhanced with a new air vent at the nose of the car. Like all Type R models before it, it is adorned with Honda's famous red H badge. New Civic Type R features a lightweight aluminum bonnet with an integrated air duct, sited centrally in a trapezoidal recess. The bonnet weighs 5.3 kilograms less than the steel bonnet on the standard 5-door model. Carbon fiber effect side skirts between front and rear wheel arches are wider than those of the previous generation Civic Type R. The wheel arches accommodate larger wheels and, at the rear, a wider track, increased by 65mm to 1,593mm. New 20-inch Berlina black alloy wheels, unique to the Type R, complement the visual changes, filling the enlarged wheel arches with 245/30 R20 tires. A substantial carbon fiber effect diffuser runs below the wider rear bumper, which frames 3 fully functional tailpipes with a pair of directional strakes at each side. The central tailpipe is of a smaller diameter. Unique peaks at the roof flanks point backwards towards a dramatic, visually striking rear wing. Advanced aerodynamic design. A short front overhang combines with an almost entirely flat underside and new under-engine and underfloor covers to aid airflow under the vehicle. Coupled with the rear diffuser that increases stability and optimizes downforce, the overall aerodynamic profile helps to suck the car onto the road to deliver a more rewarding driving experience. The overall drag coefficient is reduced by 3% compared to the previous Type R. The front bumper is shaped specifically to inhibit air turbulence around the front wheels, with a new front air curtain, wide front splitter and deep side skirts that manage airflow and create downforce on the front axle. Air slats in the bodywork behind the wheels reduce static pressure within the wheel arches and improve the lift coefficient by 1%. At the rear, the large wing works in conjunction with vortex generator strakes on the roofline, diverting airflow across the tail and generating additional downforce on the rear axle. A carefully engineered, optimized and thinner design, the wing also represents a 0.7 kg weight saving compared to the tailgate spoiler on the standard 5-door model. The wing contributes to overall negative lift, and improves road holding abilities, particularly through high-speed corners, to deliver a more secure dynamic driving experience. 2.0-liter VTEC turbo engine and manual transmission optimized for flexible, exhilarating performance. The 2.0-liter VTEC turbo heart of the multi-award-winning previous generation Type R has been optimized and refined to deliver power, torque and performance figures unmatched in the front-wheel drive hot hatch segment. Throttle response and drivability have improved thanks to optimized engine control settings, while the smooth and precise 6-speed manual transmission is further enhanced by a rev match control system, ensuring no compromise in the Type R's intimate, rewarding connection with the driver. Peak power output from the direct-injected turbocharged engine is 320 PS at 6,500 revolutions per minute, and peak torque is 400 Nm from 2,500 revolutions per minute to 4,500 revolutions per minute. It covers the 0 to 100 km per hour, 0 to 62 miles per hour, sprint in just 5.7 seconds and will go on to a top speed of 272 km per hour. 169 miles per hour. These performance statistics mean it is both the fastest accelerating and quickest car in its class. Honda's VTEC, variable timing and lift electronic control, and dual VTC, dual variable timing control, technologies provide specific advantages to the engine's mono-scroll turbocharger setup. VTEC varies the degree of exhaust valve lift to reduce turbo lag through increased exhaust pressure at lower RPM while delivering a high output at higher RPM. Dual VTC allows a degree of overlap in valve opening, which is finely controlled across a broad RPM to improve responsiveness and fuel efficiency. The engine's electric wastegate enables a higher degree of freedom and boost control over a conventional turbo type. Advanced thermal management technology addresses the challenges presented by a high compression ratio of 9.8 to 1 and turbocharging. Charge air is cooled through a high-capacity air-to-air intercooler, while the cylinder head has a two-piece water-cooled manifold to lower exhaust gas and combustion chamber temperatures. Each piston also features a cooling channel to provide increased oil flow, which dramatically increases knock resistance. Smooth and precise manual transmission. A smooth and precise 6-speed manual transmission safeguards an intimate, rewarding connection with the driver. A new single-mass flywheel improves the engine response and reduces clutch inertia weight by 25%. Additionally, the gear ratios of the transmission have been optimized for performance, with a 7% lower final gear ratio to enhance response under acceleration. The Type R's top speed is 272 km per hour, 169 miles per hour. The powertrain's rev matching function enables engine speed to be aligned with the main shaft speed during upshifts or downshifts, avoiding undesirable transmission shock associated with excessive or insufficient revving. The rev matching function can be switched on or off in the user settings for the car, regardless of which driving mode is selected. Final drive is transmitted through an exceptionally responsive helical limited slip differential, LSD. The LSD aids strong cornering traction, even during hard driving. It can contribute to a reduced lap time around the Nürburgring, when compared to the same powertrain with a traditional differential. A water-cooled oil cooler specific to the gearbox helps to manage temperatures during prolonged at-the-limit driving, for example at a circuit. Furthermore, the transmission case is fin-shaped and matched up to wind directing shapes in the under-engine cover to provide additional transmission cooling at high speeds. Bespoke triple exit exhaust. 3 fully functional tailpipes are positioned in the center of the rear diffuser. Main tailpipes on either side deliver exhaust flow from the engine, while the unique, smaller center tailpipe controls the sonic tone of the engine. The flow rate through the exhaust has improved by 10% compared to the previous Type R, which reduces back pressure within the system. To to help generate a more aggressive tone while the engine is building speed. The center tailpipe acts as another exhaust outflow, resulting in a 2 decibels increase over the previous model at the same speeds. However, at mid-load engine speed, the pressure in the center tailpipe becomes negative, sucking in ambient air. This improves NVH characteristics by eliminating the exhaust booming sound that can otherwise permeate the passenger cabin. Drive-by-wire throttle. A drive-by-wire throttle system replaces the conventional throttle cable with intelligent electronics that link the accelerator pedal to a throttle valve inside the throttle body. The result is lower component weight, as well as quicker and more accurate throttle actuation. A specially programmed nonlinear ratio between the throttle pedal and engine offers improved drivability and optimized engine response to suit specific driving conditions. New and revised driving modes give Civic Type R unrivaled usability. An enhanced selection of driving modes gives the all-new Honda Civic Type R greater usability compared to the previous model. A new comfort setting sits alongside Agile, Sport and Track-focused Plus R modes. Each tailors the adaptive dampers, steering force, gearshift feel and throttle response of the car, on demand. The Comfort mode affords greater compliance and everyday usability compared to the previous Type R, offering a softer suspension setup and smoother steering feel. Its presence in the new Type R is enabled by the revised 3-chamber adaptive dampers, which offer greater variability of damping force in both tension and compression. New Comfort mode is not only ideal for rough road surfaces, but is also a more secure configuration when driving on choppy, undulating motorway surfaces at higher speeds. While there are now far greater differences between the damping forces of each driving mode, improvements in the calibration of all 3 settings mean that new Type R feels more connected to the road at all times, helping to deliver a more secure and engaging driving experience. Sport mode remains the default setting when starting the vehicle. It offers a blend of comfort and dynamic response that corresponds approximately to a midpoint between the previous Type R's Standard and Plus R modes. Comfort mode can be selected by using a convenient rocker switch located behind the gear lever. The instrument cluster illuminations change when the mode is engaged, lessening the intensity and number of red accents around the virtual gauges. The Plus R mode remains the choice for track driving. Engine responsiveness is heightened, with the torque mapping changed to a more aggressive and performance-focused configuration, allowing more of the available torque at lower engine speeds. The throttle blipping effect from the rev matching function is also enhanced. Damping force from the new 4-wheel adaptive damper system in Plus R mode is increased by 15% over Sport mode. This produces a firmer, flatter ride and greater agility for high-performance handling. Furthermore, the variable ratio EPS becomes heavier, with reduced power assistance that delivers a more direct and linear steering feel. The Vehicle Stability Assist (VSA) registered system is retuned for Plus R mode to focus on acceleration and performance, allowing a greater yaw and slip rate before intervening. Additionally, both the traction control system and the VSA function can be turned fully off if the VSA button is pressed for 5 seconds while the Type R is in Plus R mode. The instrument gauge illumination switches to a more intense red theme when Plus R is selected from the rocker switch. The fastest front-wheel drive car ever around the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Soon after making its debut at the 2017 Geneva Motor Show, the all-new Honda Civic Type R set a new benchmark lap time for a front-wheel drive car at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. On April 3, 2017, a development car lapped the world-famous circuit in 7 minutes 43.8 seconds. The lap time was achieved during the final phase of the model's testing regime, on a dry track with an optimum ambient temperature for the best tire and powertrain performance. The new time represents an improvement of nearly 7 seconds compared to the model's predecessor. Several factors contributed to the new benchmark lap time. At its heart is the optimized and refined 2.0-liter Tech turbo engine, producing 320 PS and 400 Nm of torque. New lower gear ratios and the 6-speed manual transmission further improve the car's acceleration, while the new Type R's comprehensive aerodynamic package delivers outstanding high-speed stability, with a best-in-class balance between lift and drag. Ryuichi Kojima is the lead chassis engineer for the Honda Civic Type R. He explains where the all-new model shows the most significant improvements around the Nürburgring compared to the previous generation car. The cornering speed is higher because the car features a wider track and tires, a longer wheelbase, new multi-link suspension in the rear and optimized aerodynamics that improve stability, said Kijime-san. For example, drivers typically enter the corner after Matchfeld at around 150 km per hour. Even at this medium-speed corner, the speed is around 10 km per hour higher due to the new Type R's excellent stability. So, with improved cornering performance, we can increase the speed throughout the lap, helping the new Type R to achieve a much quicker lap time. The development car that achieved the lap time was technically representative of production specification. A full floating roll cage was installed for safety reasons, but its presence did not provide any additional rigidity to the body frame. The extra weight of the cage was compensated for by the temporary removal of the infotainment system and rear seats. The car was using road-legal track-focused tires. Sporty, sleek and sophisticated cabin with improved refinement and class-leading interior space. The interior treatment of Type R models is always unmistakable, and can be traced back 25 years to the very first Honda with the iconic red badge. The all-new Honda Civic Type R builds on the sophisticated, premium ambience of the standard car's cabin with striking suede effect red and black fabric trim for the new high-backed sports seats. The seats incorporate revised bolsters and cushion pads, offering superlative support for sports driving, and are the lightest Type R specification seats ever. The steering wheel incorporates red leather inserts and hexagonal stitching, while the dashboard panel's carbon center inlay is surrounded by red pinstripe trim, extending into the door cards. The spherical gear lever knob is made from machined alloy. All of these interior features are unique to the Type R. The sporty interior is designed to offer the most comfortable and sophisticated cabin in the compact class, and exudes a thoroughly modern, sleek and simple aesthetic to complement the sharply sculpted exterior. This is achieved with horizontal lines that accentuate the feeling of width and length, and therefore spaciousness. With the longer, wider platform and longer wheelbase, front seat and rear seat occupants benefit from greater visibility and more space in which to experience the Type R's blistering performance. For the driver, a more compact dashboard upper surface means it sits 65 mm lower, resulting in improved visibility. Thin A-pillars, 12 mm narrower than the previous Type R, also reduce the obstructed forward view, providing a class-leading 84.3 degrees of forward visibility. Boot space is a generous 414 liters, and the compartment features an innovative side-sliding and removable compact tonneau cover, ensuring the Type R retains its position as the most practical and versatile of high-performance hatchbacks. Ease of access is ensured by rear seats that split, fold 60 hours 40 minutes, with a low sill height, 680 mm, and wide boot opening, 1120 mm, combined with the flat boot floor to make the loading of heavy, wide and long items easy. NVH performance in the cabin has improved, with reduced interior sound pressure at higher engine rotations compared to the previous Type R. Technology Center Console. The center console features a piano black finish, and follows a Technology Center theme. The lower part in front of the gear lever is configured as a two-tier storage area, with a front tray that provides grab-and-go access to devices, with an integrated wireless smartphone charging pad, on GT specification cars. A second tray behind the center console provides a more discreet storage area, as well as access to the HDMI and USB ports, and a 12-volt power socket. Cable pass-through enables a connection from the second tray to the first. At the top of the center console sits the 7-inch Honda Connect color touchscreen display. As well as being a touch control device for the infotainment and climate control functions, the display also integrates with a reversing camera. It also offers enhanced intuitive operation and full smartphone integration via both Apple CarPlay registered and Android Auto. In front of the driver, the instrument display layout provides vivid clarity and highly intuitive usability. A 7-inch color TFT LCD driver information interface (DII) display makes up the largest central section of the reconfigured instrument binnacle, which includes virtual gauges as well as a switchable section that can display a variety of different function readouts. Unique to the Type R is a driving mode-specific illumination function that features specialized readouts, including an LED gear shift indicator light, boost pressure gauge, G-meter and lap time recorder. Scroll and select functions for the door performed via thumbpad controls on the left spoke of the steering wheel. The combination of thumbpad controls and display in the driver's forward line of sight helps to minimize distractions for the driver while underway. Also on the left spoke are the integrated Bluetooth-registered hands-free link-registered telephone controls, while a second thumbpad on the right spoke of the steering wheel operates the adaptive cruise control and lane keeping assist system settings. In common with the new Civic hatchback, the new Type R features the Honda Sensing suite of safety technologies, one of the most comprehensive safety packages in its class. It uses a combination of radar and camera information, plus a host of high-tech sensors to warn and assist the driver in potentially dangerous scenarios. The Honda Sensing suite of active safety technologies includes collision mitigation braking system, forward collision warning, lane departure warning, road departure mitigation, lane keeping assist system, adaptive cruise control, traffic sign recognition, intelligent speed assistance, intelligent adaptive cruise control. Also fitted as standard are vehicle stability assist, VSA, with traction control, which enhances control capability while the vehicle is accelerating, braking, cornering, and indirect tire pressure monitoring system, TPMS. The higher specification Type R GT model also benefits from blind spot information including cross-traffic monitor, dual-zone climate control, auto-dimming rear-view mirror, Honda Connect with Garmin navigation, wireless charging pad, 542-watt 12-speaker audio system and LED front fog lights, celebrating 25 years of Type R. 2017 marks 25 years since the introduction of the very first Honda Type R vehicle. For more than 2 decades, the Type R badge has denoted the highest performance version of its respective model, derived from a philosophy of crafting racing-inspired road cars. Honda's Type R models have always represented the purity of the original concept, minimizing weight while maximizing power, responsiveness, dynamic stability and braking performance. All new Civic Type R. Newly engineered from the ground up to deliver the most rewarding driving experience in the hot hatch segment, the 5th generation Civic Type R represents the first truly global Type R. Unlike previous versions where specific variants were limited to either Japan or European markets, the new Type R will be exported globally. Type R history. The Type R name first appeared in 1992, with the debut of the first-generation NSX Type R. Honda's aim was to develop a car which delivered overwhelming driving pleasure and the speed of a racing car, powered by a 3.0-liter V6 engine producing 280 PS. An extensive weight-saving program extracted nearly 120 kilograms over the standard NSX, including new lightweight composite recaro seats in place of the electrically adjustable leather seats. This was the first time that the red Honda emblem, red upholstery and championship white body color were introduced onto a Honda production car. The color combination was a tribute to Honda's Formula One heritage, reflecting the racing colors that appeared on the Honda RA271 and RA272 single-seaters. The former was the first ever Japanese car to race in Formula One, while the latter was the first from the country to win a Grand Prix, taking the checkered flag in Mexico in 1965. Both cars were painted white with a red sun mark, inspired by Japan's national flag, and set the iconic trend for future Type R variants. In 1995, Honda introduced the first-generation Integra Type R, officially available only to the Japanese market. Its 200 PS 1.8-liter four-cylinder VTEC engine redlined at 8,000 revolutions per minute, and introduced a much larger audience to the Type R experience. The upgraded version was lighter than the standard Integra, while keeping its rigidity, and offered the short ratio 5-speed manual gearbox, as well as upgraded suspension and brakes. The Japan-only 1997 Honda Civic Type R that followed was powered by the famous 1.6-liter B16 engine, the first engine in a standard mass-production car to offer a specific output exceeding 100 PS per liter. The Type R offered a stiffer chassis, front and rear double wishbone suspension, upgraded brakes and a helical limited slip differential. European buyers were officially offered a Type R for the first time in the shape of the 1998 Integra Type R powered by a 1.8-liter four-cylinder VTEC engine. This iconic coupe offered 190 PS at its 8,000 revolutions per minute redline. The weight-saving Focus even included thinner windscreen glass for European versions. The first 5-door Type R was launched in 1999. The Accord Type R was equipped with a stiffer chassis and suspension, more powerful brakes and a limited slip differential. It was also offered with a dual exhaust system and optional rear spoiler. 2001 saw the debut of the second-generation Integra Type R for the Japanese market, and the launch of the second-generation Civic Type R. The latter represented the first time that a Type R model had been built at Honda of the UK manufacturing, THომ, in Swindon. The Japanese domestic market version, featuring a number of upgrades to the UK model, was also built at home. In 2002, the second-generation NSX Type R was introduced in Japan, representing a further evolution of the racing-inspired philosophy. Carbon fiber was used extensively to help reduce weight, including for the large rear spoiler and vented bonnet hood. The car remains the rarest of Honda's Type R models. The third-generation Civic Type R was launched in March 2007, and was offered in 2 formats. Japanese buyers were offered a 4-door sedan with a 225 PS 2.0-liter 4-cylinder VTEC engine and independent rear suspension, while the European market Type R was based on the 5-door hatchback, with a 2.0-liter VTEC unit producing 201 PS at 7,800 revolutions per minute. The 4th-generation Civic Type R was launched in 2015 with a host of technical firsts. At its heart was the first-ever VTEC turbo engine, the most extreme and high-performing Type R engine ever built, which delivered 310 PS at 6,500 revolutions per minute and 400 Nm torque from 2,500 revolutions per minute. Optimized performance handling resulted from a 4-wheel adaptive damper system and a unique dual-axis strut front suspension setup. An all-new Plus R mode was also introduced, giving drivers the option to engage a more intense driving experience, with increased engine response and steering feel, and revised damper settings, at the touch of a button. During its development, the 4th-generation Civic Type R set a new front-wheel drive production car benchmark at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Honda of the UK manufacturing, THომ, home of the all-new Civic Type R. Honda's European production facility, Honda of the UK manufacturing, THომ, is the global production hub for the 10th-generation Civic hatchback, and the only plant to build the Civic Type R. Honda has invested €270 million in new production technologies and processes at MUC specifically to prepare for the new hatchback model, including the all-new Honda Civic Type R. The investment is part of a long-term vision for the European plant in Honda's global operations. Production of the new Civic Type R is anticipated to start in summer 2017. The Type R will be exported across Europe and to other markets around the world, including Japan and the US. Its arrival in North America will mark the first time that any Honda-badged Type R has been officially sold there. THომ produced its first engine in 1989 and its first car in 1992. It now consists of 2 car plants and an engine manufacturing facility. Other areas of the site are dedicated to a purpose-built test track, dynamic and static test cells, as well as administration and purchasing functions. Premium paint quality. To ensure that the quality of the paint finish complements the high-quality exterior design, Honda has invested in new paint facilities at THომ. The quality of the finish from the new paint shop will be class-leading thanks to improved paint thickness and a new type of clear coat application. The combination of these 2 enhancements is an improved depth and quality of gloss shine, and an enriched reflection characteristic. The changes mean that the new Civic will achieve levels of paint quality and finish close to the standards achieved for Honda's premium US Acura brand.